What's up guys, welcome to today's video. I thought we would do a little history lesson in case you guys are new to the channel. I feel like I need to elaborate on the whole cup holder thing because it often gets brought up in comments. So I used to do this thing where I did cup holder reviews, and the whole theory behind it was the fact that basically I didn't get to have any fun with my cars until they were warm, because I'd leave my house and by the time they were warm I would already have stopped at Starbucks, so I'd have to do my pulls or whatever idiotry I wanted to do with my fast car with a full cup of coffee in it. So it turned into this thing where I knew the cars that had really good cup holders and the ones that didn't have good cup holders, because the ones that didn't have good cup holders I couldn't do pulls in, because then I would wind up with coffee all over myself in the car and then I'd be sad. But today I thought I would bring you in on a new problem that I've been facing. So the two cars that I've been detailing the most are the Laguna Seca Blue E46 and the FD. Both of which have zero cup holders. The E46 has a really cool Euro center console, and for whatever reason Europeans don't drink things ever, and they don't have cup holders in their cars. Either that or they're I don't know, maybe it's just missing, or maybe I can't find it. But yeah, so going to Starbucks has been a real challenge. I feel like I've gotten really good at shifting with my left toe, so that's kind of what I've been doing. I feel like I need to invest in a cup holder company. I feel like that'd be pretty rad if I had a cup holder that comes down from the ceiling or something useful. Or maybe just bring travel mugs. Kind of just talking to talk at this point. It's a rainy day, and I'm hoping we can get a bunch done on that 15. Didn't already notice, we've been having a real space issue here. I can say there is some hope. I posted about this on Twitter, but I did officially make an offer on another building. I don't know if they're gonna accept it, but it'd be really rad because there'd be more than enough space for all the cars. Considering the shop's full inside right now, we've got quite the block going on, and then a bunch of cars at my house too, and at the other shop. It's getting bad. Got a problem.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, Mike.
How are you?
I'm good.
What you doing?
Math.
Math?
Yeah.
I don't like math.
Me either. I hate it. Yeah, so I found the angle that we're gonna run from that front Y to the back turbo. So this is roughly the angle that, looks good. It goes with the valve cover. It will merge the pipes together pretty well. So now I'm trying to find what this angle it is, so then I could translate that into pipe cuts. So I have somewhat an idea of that angle it is, but before I start cutting a bunch of titanium stuff and come up with the wrong stuff, I want to make sure on paper or any other way that I could figure out that I'll have the right stuff when I'm done cutting is by making it on paper or figure something out on how to do it before actually cutting the material. So what I have here, I trace that angle from the welding wire onto a piece of paper, and then there's a way to do some calculations and make some pipe cuts with the type of bend that I think I have. And so I'm gonna try those numbers out, and I'll somewhat give me a rough idea if it's within that section. So following the center line. Never done something like this, so it's somewhat out of my comfort zone, but using some common sense and all the knowledge I got from the pipe cuts stuff, like cutting pipe cuts and stuff like that, I know I'll get it. It's just figuring out that angle, because if you don't have that angle right, it'll be a bunch of wasted material, and two, it won't look as nice once it's on the car and it's all welded and looking good. So
Sick.
Yeah, once this is figured out, then the actual cutting of the pipe cuts is the easy part. So we'll muck it up, and then Adam will see the final
Sweet.
layout.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So in this box right here lays a very, very cool piece for the build. So this is actually the second radiator that I've got, because the first one came damaged. It was this whole ordeal, and I wanted to have it absolutely perfect, and you guys will understand why when you see it.
Get that thing tight.
Alright. So the first radiator that I got, the shipping service actually taped the camshaft right on top of the radiator. So when it came, it had a bunch of dents in the top of the radiator, and the camshaft came damaged. So we filed a claim, and now this is like months later, I got the replacement one. But I'm very, very excited. So what I really like about this ARC radiator in particular is the symmetry. So when you see it in the bay, because the cap isn't in the center, it has a really, really, really nice look to it. We're actually gonna throw it in now because Johan's starting to mock up the cold side piping. You guys will get an idea of what I mean. So before, there's like a bunch of dents right here and it was just really ugly, since this is kind of like a nice centerpiece. I have a couple different options for brackets. I'll look and I'll see what looks best. But the main important thing is getting the shroud on so Johan can see how much room he has to work with here before getting the piping to right down into there.
Use drill, bowl.
No. Not that.
Drill, right?
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
It's like an edge chassis.
Nope.
Need some.
Not that.
You gonna do like a little loop-de-loop? Are you
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like
Sick.
a lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have two options. I can either use the OE ones that are zinc coated, or I have these nice billet ones from PRP. I don't know how I feel about the fact that they say GTR on them, but I feel like it does look a lot better than the stock bulky ones.
Yeah. I mean, off the cart, they look kind of, yeah.
But on the card,
it looks better.
Yeah, it looks like OEM Plus in a way. These just are like too bulky.
Yeah.
This is one of those annoying moments where I got a brand new OEM R34 like fan shroud and a new clutch fan, but it's looking like if I want to use this radiator, this shroud does not fit, which Johan's happy about because it's going to eat into his room here, but now I'm torn because it seems like to run this radiator it's going to want E-fans.
Yeah, or have somebody make our own.
Like a
shroud.
crazy custom shroud,
Like
yeah.
just particle it like wrinkle black or something. So it looks OEM, you know?
Yeah, because I have the brand new OEM clutch fan.
Yeah.
This right here, I showed in the video a long time ago. This is actually an HPI, like top of the line intercooler that I got for my R32. HPI is another really cool JDM company that makes a lot of really nice stuff. I use all their like half size condensers, and I think I have one of the radiators in the R32 as well. But I couldn't fit this in my R32 for whatever reason, and I went with a different one in that. So I'm hoping it'll fit on the R34 because I really, really like this. And we're gonna test fit it now.
What you got there?
Johan welded me up a real nice AC condenser can. What is this? Oh wait, hold on, don't tell me. What is this called? I ordered it, so I must have known what it was called at one point.
What are those things?
Dryer. It's a dryer. It's a dryer.
There you go.
It's an AC dryer. That's a weird thing to call this.
I know.
Why would you call it a dryer? I know why you call it a dryer, but that's a weird name. That's why I didn't remember it. Anyway, gotta go with my brand new, shout out to Dana Terra Firma condenser. Look at that. Scrub it right in there. So one thing I did want to give you guys an update on, not necessarily the best news, but we've been on the fence about having our open house. With everything going on with COVID-19, we just decided it was the best move to postpone it for now. Maybe there'll be some sort of hope of doing something in the spring, maybe like a spring cleaning / start of the season open house. But for right now, we're just not comfortable doing an event like that, and I hope you guys understand. And we're still trying to figure out a way that we can still collect toys for the kids. So please stay posted. I'll post something on social media or Twitter, whatever, and I'll talk about it in a video when we come up with some way that we can still get a bunch of Toys for Tots, because I think one of the coolest things every year is just seeing how many toys we're able to collect in the black trailer and knowing how many kids we're able to make have a great Christmas. So we're gonna try to explore all possible options, but this is the executive final decision that there will not be our third, or actually would it be our fourth? think our 3rd annual open house event. And if you're not familiar with that, usually we have a bunch of YouTubers in town and everyone hangs out, and we have a big like open house where you guys can come. It's kind of like a car show / walk in the shop, do whatever, meet and greet at our warehouse. But yeah, we're not gonna do that this year. Maybe we'll still have some friends fly in and do some content. Haven't fully decided, but I wanted to keep you guys in the loop because I know a lot of people were asking about making plans and stuff, and that is where we're at right now.
I ain't going nowhere.
So the bumper's like a little bit saggy right now, so kind of ignore it, but you'll see there's a little gap. Yo, and you want to pull it up to kind of demonstrate? One thing we're kind of on the fence about is if you look at it from this angle, like if you're looking down at the car, the intercooler could come down a little bit more, so I think we're going to drop it down a little more. I won't really add that much more air to the fins, but aesthetically I think having it all the way full will be perfect. It sucks having to be so OCD about a car, but... Well,
this car is, you know, that's why it's taking so much longer, because we do things and then we change it up, so it's just like you want to do it once. It's not that ability, you want to reduce stuff, so something like that it might be small for somebody else, but to us, it's like, it's something that will bother us for the car, for the kind of car it is. If it was the Chaser, you know,
the Chaser's got like a 4-inch gap.
Then yeah, but
I'm pumped though that it fits that well.
Yeah.
I like the very subtle HPI branding on it too.
Yeah.
I like that you can see it through the grill as well.
Yeah.
So cool. Also, to all you haters telling me that I put my endless brakes on backwards, everyone always assumes that these lines have something to do with anything. What's important is the actual marks inside of the rotors, and you can see that the way that it's going, they catch the air when it goes like this because of the way that they are slotted, but they are literally labeled on them saying which side they're for. But regardless, whenever anyone puts slotted brakes and rotors on ever, someone in the comments is always like, you put it on backwards. But no, you can see. Since I've been behind on videos, this was another same day upload. We'll be back on the groove though tomorrow. The video that's going up, very big surprise. Can't explain what it is, but it'll be a very good one that I know you guys will enjoy. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the updates on the R34. It's coming along slowly but surely. It's looking more like a car every single day. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon. Wait, hold on, don't tell me. When you said, what is this called? I ordered it, so I must have known what it was called at one point. Whatever. Dryer. It's a dryer.